Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Veterans Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motion, RestoredMotions.com, and ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. Appreciate you for being with us here. LSU-Auburn week. Said it many times. My favorite of the LSU series. It's always really predicated on age. You know, if you're an older demographic fan, you probably love the Ole Miss series. Maybe even Alabama. Now that we're think about Bear in the '70s. That was 50 years ago, but. Younger fans, of the aughts, no doubt love the Florida series because of the back and forth with LSU and Florida, sort of volley and national championships. As much as that series became contentious, not only competitive on the field but contentious off the field. For me, I love the Auburn series. It's just always the one that I love the most. It's I think back to all the named games. Those are some of the first memories I have, like when I can actually remember the games. Like I can remember plays and moments and all this. I mean, I have memories from before then, but I remember watching the interception game in '94. I remember bring back the Magic in '95. We watched the first half at my grandmother's house in New Orleans. We left there at halftime. We were listening to it driving back, and I caught the end of the game when we got back home. In '96, the barn burner, Rayon Hills, pick six on the 2-point conversion. '97, the Cecil Collins game. When Wade Ritchie was lining up for a 64-yard field goal at the end to try to win it. It was blocked. Casey Tabor was the holder. I mean, I remember all that stuff, of course. '98 LSU wasn't very good, but they still beat Auburn. '99 was the cigar game. It was my senior year of high school. We played Archbishop Shaw at Hoss Memphis on a Saturday. We played Shaw on a Saturday morning in New Orleans, and so I caught the score of that game when we were leaving Shaw, heading back to Baton Rouge, and showered, got in the car to head home, and caught the score. I was like, oh my God, I got blown out in '99. Just so many awesome memories from the Auburn. Anyway, so I love the Auburn series. I love it. It's my favorite series. Hugh Freeze coming in as the Auburn coach for the first time. Hugh has not had much success in Baton Rouge. His first year at Ole Miss was 2012, and that game probably shouldn't have been competitive, but it was. Odell had the punt return, and if you remember, that was the game where in the post-game press conference, Les Miles did the, you throw your arms around and give him a big kiss on the mouth. If you're a girl. Big kiss on the mouth. If you're a girl. I was talking about that with Musso yesterday. He goes, man, you know how quickly he'd be canceled for that today? That's so true. Anyway, Hugh came back here in 2014 and LSU won that game 10-7. Logan Stokes had his only touchdown reception of his career. And then 2016 was the game where Fournette just poof. Went off for like 286. So Hugh has not had much success in Baton Rouge, suffice to say. Let's try to keep it that way on Saturday. All right, we'll say some good mornings here. Let me know what y'all got. Fire away with questions as always. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Hey, Kelly Gross, good morning. Vernell Thomas, good morning. Wasn't able to comment Monday or Tuesday, but I can see. But can I see? I still say Derek Carr didn't have that good of a game. I would just love to know his stats. Look into the second half of the game. Yeah, look, Vernell, it wasn't a great day for Derek Carr. It was a great day for your defense. Your offense, you got 17 points off of turnovers, which included a defensive touchdown. But you moved the ball. You were really balanced. You leaned very heavily on the run. Kamara had 22 rushing attempts in the game. So it was just pretty clear, man. They were going more run heavy. And then the terms of the game, kind of dictated that you would play a game sort of like that. But it was a game where New Orleans leaned more heavily on the run than they did the pass, and that probably good. Carr finished 18 of 26 for 183. So in the game you threw 26 passes, and you ran the ball 42 times. So you lean more heavily on the run than the pass. But look, if you could play great defense and run the ball and be efficient in the passing game, great. Joey Vincent, Go, Rilla, Deborah Cowart, Larry Gardner, Jesse Brown. Do you think we'll see Jamal Williams back very soon? We need to get an update on Jamal Williams. That's a good question. I don't know that we've gotten an update on Jamal Williams. I mean, they put him on IR, so he's got to miss at least 4 games. So that would mean, let's see, he suffered the injury against Carolina, which means he would be eligible to return right for Thursday against Jacksonville. Let me make sure I got that right. So he was hurt in week 2, so he missed Green Bay, Tampa, last week against New England, and he'll miss this weekend. He's got to miss this weekend against Houston, so he'd be eligible to return for Thursday night against Jacksonville. So we'll see if he does then. Wendell Norman, Tiger Diver, Trivia Carter, Matt Plavidal, good morning. Headed to Charlotte for a short trip to Concord. Okay, Mustang Car Show. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Enjoy your time away, dude. That's awesome. Brad David, good morning. What did Gary Danielson say about Glenn Dorsey that made so many fans not like him? Glenn had gotten hurt in the Auburn game. I remember the kid's name was Chaz Ramsey. Chaz Ramsey chop blocked Glenn Dorsey. So chop block, of course, when you're engaged high and someone hits you low at the knee. So Chaz Ramsey was the Auburn offensive lineman who hit Glenn Dorsey in the knee. We later learned, I think, Glenn tore his MCL, if I'm not mistaken. I might have that wrong, but Glenn, it was a more serious injury, and Glenn continued to play on it. And it was just clear he wasn't himself. But Gary Danielson on the broadcast, CBS broadcast said, effectively, like, where are the adults? Someone needs to protect the kid from himself. The coaches need to step up, and this kid doesn't. He said, like, this kid doesn't need to play again. He's got an NFL future and all that. It was funny because I interviewed Gary Danielson at SEC Media Days this year, and I asked him, I said, man, give me a Les Miles story. And that's the one he went to. He said, man, Les was mad at him. For me, I mean, because it's one thing to sort of say it privately. It's another when you say it on the national broadcast, you're like, that kid doesn't need to be playing anymore. Let me see if I can find it. I know we clipped it. I know we clipped it from Media Days. We clipped that. Oh, here it is.
Dorsey. And I had said publicly I didn't think he should be playing.
That didn't see the camera or didn't get to the microphone that you'll remember.
Les got really mad at me. It was over Glenn Dorsey. And I had said publicly I didn't think he should be playing. And I went down on the field. I didn't think he was ready. And I said something like, this is when some adult needs to step in and protect it. And Les was really upset. So I met him, and Les had his finger in my chest because, Les. And I was going, Les, my tackle with the Lions played with you. He went on spring break with you. Do you want me to talk about spring break in Florida when you were at Michigan?
Yes, let's hear that.
Because I know everything about your time in Michigan. He just looked at me and now.
I would love to hear those stories. Anyway. Thomas Lamont, I'm 32. Auburn is my favorite series. Too many memorable games to list here. Yeah, I mean, that's, I love and look, LSU Auburn hasn't been the most often played series. So they didn't really start playing regularly until the late '80s. But in my opinion, the best series are the ones that grow organically. It's why I push back against Arkansas so much, because Arkansas and LSU are seldom playing for anything of significance at all. There was a 15, 20-year run where it felt like every time LSU and Auburn played, it was a massively significant game. It was going to be super physical, and you knew it was going to be close. And it was just awesome. Brian wins, Zach Swan, Jesse Brown, Tim Gorilla, what up? Preferred DB, Major or Sam? Well, that's not an either or, Gorilla, because they play different positions. So, I mean, the better question is, do you want to put in Ryan Yates at free safety and take Andre Sam off the field? And it's tough to go there because Sam plays aggressive and he plays physically. He's just physically limited. But yeah, I mean, I want to see more of Ryan Yates. But that said, like, neither guy can cover very, very good. Sam is more of I think a box safety that can come downhill and help. I'm sorry, Burns is more of a box safety that can come downhill and help you against the run. Radavius Hall, Auburn offense is so bad, this could be the right game for the defense. Maybe, but we shared this with you yesterday if you missed it. Do you know... Do you know where Arkansas ranks? I want to make sure I have it right. Do you know where Arkansas ranks in total offense in the SEC? Man. Well, that backfired, and I'm trying to... Oh, it was on player statistics. That explains why. Idiot. I'm the idiot. SEC yards per game, Arkansas, 332 yards per game, dead last. Auburn, 358 yards per game, second to last. So, I mean, you faced the offense that's literally dead last in the conference, and they put up 31 points on you and 500 yards. So, forgive me for not thinking this is the opportunity for the defense to get right. I'm more thinking, if you're Auburn, this is your chance to say, hey, this is a chance for our offense to get right. Anyway. Chase DeAndre, good morning. Devin Johnson, good morning. Happy I landed the new job. Starting a few weeks. Headed to Baton Rouge Saturday. Good time it is. Go Tigers. There you go, Devin. Congrats, man. That's great to hear. Awesome. Troy Hebert, is the Musso blind date really happening? I think that's pretty cool. Absolutely, Troy. So, because I told him on air, I mean, even if I can't get businesses on board to sponsor it, basically to provide the tickets, transportation, meal, whatever, I will, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for their tickets and dinner and all that stuff. But we have the AFR watch party giveaway we're doing right now. So we're announcing that winner on Friday. So starting next week is when we'll go full bore with the Musso blind date thing. Hang on one second. Choose back next week. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. that, y'all. It's always brought to you by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. Need an orthopedist? Call Brock. Need a roof? Give us a shot at Hudco. Let's see. Do about 10 more minutes here, y'all. Josh DeVilliers, good morning. Hunter Eilers, good morning. How do you feel about Mason Smith? Is he a bust? Josh, I'll tell you straight up, bro. I just always push back against adult humans calling a college kid a bust. And I don't mean this to be critical of you. I'm just telling you straight up, like my skin curls when I hear stuff like that. Mason Smith didn't ask to be labeled a 5-star and have whatever expectation that recruiting rankings put on him. And he was pretty damn good as a freshman, and guy tore his ACL last year, busted his behind to get back, hurt his ankle in fall camp, went through basically no contact, so he's coming off a serious knee injury, playing on a bum ankle, really, quite honestly, playing out of position for the first half of this year until this past week. So, no, I don't think he's a bust. And I think collectively as rational adult humans, we need to purge that kind of language and that kind of thinking from our mindset. Don't fault the kid. If there's a player who's ranked as a 5-star and doesn't play well or live up to that expectation that you had for him as a 17, 18-year-old, don't blame the kid. Blame the adults who scouted him and put a 5-star ranking on him. It goes for any player. So, no, I don't think Mason Smith's a bust. Truax, what's good? Michael Cook, good morning. Lowell Cormier. And by the way, just real quick to follow up on that, and there's a big difference there for me between that and the NFL. Because in the NFL, when you're getting paid, it's your job to make sure that you have yourself ready to play. And someone may be taken in round one that, I'll give you an example, Robert Gallery. Robert Gallery was I think the number 2 or number 3 overall pick in the draft, and he was drafted out of Iowa to be the left tackle of the Raiders. And he couldn't play left tackle. He didn't have the feet to play left tackle. But he ended up playing for a decade in the NFL at guard and was a really good interior player. Was he worthy of the number 2 overall pick of being a franchise left tackle? That didn't pan out to be, but he made himself into a long tenured NFL player and had a really good career. That's a big difference between that and someone like Johnny Manziel or Jamarcus Russell, who don't take their job seriously, who don't watch film, who don't take care of their body, who their failure is on them. That's a big difference. So if you're a college kid, and you're not working hard and your failure is on you because, you were a knucklehead, didn't go to class and didn't work out and got in trouble off the field and all this sort of stuff, that's on you. That's bad decision making. There's a big difference between that and Mason Smith being injured multiple times and, having 6 different defensive line coaches and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, no, I would not say that a 19 or 20-year-old kid is a bust. Truax, what's up? Michael Cook, Lowell Cormier, good morning. He's asking about Jay Bramblett. Bramblett's had a weird year, man. He booms some and then he shanks some. It's been inconsistent. Daniel Cass, what's up with Deuce Chestnut? They misevaluated. You have better players. He hadn't even traveled to some of the road games now. Tony Cortella, most memorable game seemed to be between LSU and Auburn. Never know what to expect in the series. Kerry Hughes, I know you said early the season Auburn will win a game they shouldn't. Don't think it's this weekend as much as I love Hugh. Kerry, this one all season has given me the heebie-jeebies. Y'all know that. I've said it a bunch, not only because it's LSU Auburn, but look, think back to 2012. I was referencing all the games with LSU and Auburn earlier. Think back to 2012. Hugh Freeze inherits an absolute mess from Houston out at Ole Miss. 2011 Ole Miss, that was the season when LSU took a knee with 6 minutes to play in the ball game, right? Ole Miss was a disaster. And in 2012, LSU was coming off the national championship game appearance. You had all those players back, right? Mettenberger's a quarterback, but you've got everybody back from the team that played for the championship. And that 2012 LSU Ole Miss game basically came down to Odell's punt return. Like, Ole Miss had it ended up, It ended up 41-35. Hugh Freeze is a good. LSU had a 21-point fourth quarter. Odell returned the punt. I think his punt, if I'm not mistaken, I think the punt was 89 yards. It was like the same trajectory as the Billy Cannon punt, if I'm not mistaken. But Odell had the punt return, which got LSU back in it. I mean, LSU was down a touchdown, and Odell had the punt return there at the start of the fourth quarter, and then it gave LSU a lead, and then they broke the tie. And so I think, who scored the touchdown with who scored that last touchdown? Was it Hill? Might have been Jeremy Hill. Anyway, LSU scored. There were like 15 seconds left to win the game. Anyway, point is that game should not have been a game at all. And Hugh Freeze is a really good coach and made it a game. So I'm always leery of Hugh. Really creative offensive coach, great offensive coach. He'll maximize his team. He'll maximize his talent. They generally, in his first year, he's going to win a game he's got no business winning, man. And I hope it's not this weekend. They sure came close against Georgia, didn't they? But they have a bye. They're coming off their open date. This is LSU's 5th consecutive SEC weekend. I could certainly see Hugh Freeze and Auburn beating Ole Miss next week at Jordan Hare. Wouldn't that be something? But anyway, this is just one that I'm a little on edge. Jason H. Hey, Rebecca Claire, good morning. Gave Barrett tickets to the Auburn game for his 14th birthday, taking the family to the game this weekend. Awesome. Y'all have a great time. That's 14. Oh, golly. Our buddy Barrett is a Zipper Club member as well. He's a heart kiddo. So always pulling for him and cheering for him from afar. That's awesome. 14 years old. Wow, that's awesome. Awesome. Troy Abear, good morning. Otter was not good on his picks last night. Yeah, he was 1-2. Well, he split the college football games, and then Colucci missed on the Seattle Kraken. So Otter had Liberty, which hit, and then Coastal, which did not, and then Colucci gave the Kraken, which did not. So 1-2 night. Tiger Diver, really going to miss LSU Auburn series. The 0-1 was my favorite. Storm in the field, smoking the cheap cigar. Yep. That's honestly Tiger Diver for me, number 1 on the list as well. And I'm biased, of course. Of course, I was a student at LSU at the time and stormed the field and smoked the cigar and all that sort of stuff. But it was also LSU's first ever, it clinched LSU's first ever trip to the SC Championship game. And it was just a really fun game, man. I remember the beginning of that game, Michael Clayton on a kickoff was on kick coverage, went and just split somebody in half from Auburn. It was awesome. Anyway, just one of those days, man. It was awesome. All right, y'all. It's 8 o'clock. I got to get going. Jay Martinez, Brian Jones, Cody Champion, Mike Hardy, all KMC. What's going on? Dalton Barnett, Lewoski Watkins. Good to see y'all. Thanks so much for being here. If I missed you, Lisa Strain, Jamie Leday, Rick Manuel, good morning. Bubba Smith, Colin Gallagher, Quentin Breakbill. Appreciate y'all as always. Thanks for being here. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. LSU Daily is live, so please find it on your favorite podcast app. And subscribe up if you haven't done so yet. And we'll see you for AFR 3. Peace. I'm out of here.